Wonderful students, you have made it to Friday. Congratulations, the first week of virtual learning is almost over. You guys have done so great. You can do it one day and then you get 2 days off. It's going to be great. So I wanted to walk you through Friday for ELA. Looks pretty legit. I only see a couple things. So let me go back here to Thursday. Make sure I check that I've done all these lovely things. Okay, fantastic. And then making sure that I got that done. So I'm still not done totally. So I'm gonna go ahead and color that orange. That lets me know that I'm still working, and I've got till today to turn it in. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and look at this. This is that. Submit my writing prompt if I haven't done that already, and then vocabulary.com. So it looks like my only new assignment is just one. So I have a writing prompt, a March Madness Match 1 writing prompt. How does the author use details to create a mysterious setting? Okay. And I'll look over here. It's due on Tuesday. Okay. So I don't have to do this all today. I can maybe work for half an hour or so, and then I can look at it over the weekend, and I can look at it on Monday and Tuesday of next week and kind of finalize everything. But let's get started on what this is. So I'm going to come over here to classwork. Oh, here's my writing prompt. Let's go ahead and click into here. Okay, so use both stories, The Child with Your Name and See You at the Pole, to answer this question. Pull out examples of details that the author uses. Make sure to quote anything from the text. Got it. I'm gonna highlight this so I don't forget, because sometimes I forget to quote things from the text. I really have to remember that. That create a mysterious setting. Okay, so mysterious is my key word here. And setting, all right, let me think of setting. So this is the place that the story takes place. Okay. Oh, look at that. If I read a little further, all right. Reminder, setting is where the story takes place. So what details does the author give you that help you know the setting? What details does the author leave out to make things mysterious? Okay, here's my question. How does the author use details to create a mysterious setting? Okay, so step one is going to be to get my articles. So let's do that. Pull up Newsela, and bear with me really quickly while I log out of my teacher account and log in with my student account. So if you ever need to log in, that's how you do it. You got to log in through Google. All right, so we'll come in here, and then I'm gonna pull up. So I'm gonna double click, and I'm gonna open link in new tab, and it's gonna pop up here, and then I'm gonna do the same thing to this one, so that I can have, and I'm gonna X out of this, so that I can have both of my stories up side by side, because I'm going to need both of them. Whoop, because it literally says use both. Okay, so I'm looking for a mysterious setting. So I'm going to start, and I'm going to go through. So the same way that I had a different color when I was responding to my first writing prompt, this time as I'm skimming through, again, I don't need to read the entire article or story fully because I've already read it a couple times. But I'm going to use a different color this time to really pull out my details for a mysterious setting. So, the child with a name follows the map. The enchanted woods are dark and covered in sticky shadows. Well, that's mysterious. Let me use green. This creates mystery, right? Because dark and shadows are mysterious, right? I think that's it. The child entered the woods, not sure. There's no path between the trees. Whoop. Something slithered. I think all of this relates to mystery, right? This can all be mysterious. Now, I am not going to say how, but you will. If you're going to choose this as an example, you will have to explain how there being no path, tripping over rocks, something slithering and hooting and scratching all creates mystery. I am not going to do that for you because I think that you all can do that on your own. But I do think this is mysterious. You have to figure out how. Deal? I'll give you half of it. So, finally, there's a cauldron. Okay, so then I can keep going. And again, I'm not going to keep going, although I think like there's some other things that can create this mysterious setting. But I'm not going to do everything for you. But here's how I would start to do that. Again, I use a different color so that when I go back and forth with my evidence, I don't get confused on what evidence I'm using. So now for the next one. All right, I'm going to do the exact same thing here. I'm going to look for seeing what creates a mysterious setting, what details create this mysterious setting. Okay. I don't know. Cars whiz by? Maybe. That could be something. I'm going to highlight it. I don't know if I'll use it in my story or in my response, but I think cars whizzing by has sort of like this mysterious, like, where are you? Are you? I could assume you're in a city, maybe. And let's see. It's a big rush. The package quivered. That's not about the setting. Remember, setting is where it takes place. Okay. All right. So he's walking across busy streets, roadblocks. So I don't really know where he is. I'm still thinking a city. Let's see. The package not answered. Rushed the office. It was very late and empty. Okay. So 2-3 days he sat. Ooh, they went straight to the reserve. They got on a sleigh and went straight to the reserve. Again, I'm not going to tell you the how this creates mystery. I'm giving you a little bit of help with kind of helping to pull out. I'm not saying I'm finding all of the examples by any means, but I'm not going to tell you the how. That is going to be for you to think about and you to figure out. So let's see. The tip of, so the three took a walk gazing at icebergs. Okay. Sleigh bell. Okay, so this is kind of what I got. Again, I'm going through this relatively quickly. You are most likely, definitely, going to take a little bit more time, read through this a lot more carefully than I'm doing, and see if you can pull out other examples. But this is something to get you started and to have you kind of see how I'm going through this. Again, you can come up with completely different examples, but we do need to have from both stories. That's the important part. So now I'm going back to my response. Again, to start, this is a lot of you guys are having trouble starting your responses. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say, use your prompt. It's there for you. It's the best and easiest way to start a response if you're not quite sure how to do it. So I'm going to start. Both authors of The Child with your name and see you at the pole. Use details in their story to create a mysterious setting. I have literally used exactly what's in my prompt, exactly what's in my question. I have used and I have turned it into the first sentence of my response, and that's perfectly okay to do. You can add a hook if you want to, but as long as you kind of start us off, you're good. So now I can go on. I'm going to pick one story at a time. So in the first story, one example of a detail that creates a mysterious is, I'm not going to tell you. This is where you put your evidence. This, but then you have to explain it. This creates mystery because and then you explain your reason and how this detail specifically creates mystery. You have to have this sentence. This is probably one of the most important sentences in any response. After you have your evidence, you have to explain how or why that evidence works. You have to prove it. Otherwise, you've just thrown in a random piece of evidence. So you have to prove it. Does that make sense? We've definitely talked about this in class. So this should not be new to anyone. We've done this all year long, but just letting you know again that you need to have this because sentence that really grounds your evidence and proves it. So then I might have, hold up, let me undo all this fancy stuff up here. Then you might have a second piece of evidence. And then the because sentence after. I mean, if I'm looking here, in both of these, 1, 2, I've got at least 2 from each. So I would say use that. As many pieces of evidence as you have, make your response strong. Don't try to just do the bare minimum and just get it done. You guys, you have time to do this. Again, this isn't due until Tuesday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, you have 5 days to work on this. Make it good. Put your effort into it. You guys can do this. Do more than the bare minimum. It'll do you good. Then my second paragraph will be about see you at the poll, and I am going to do the exact same thing. I am going to start with my evidence in quotes, and then I am going to explain why or how this evidence shows the author is creating a mysterious setting. So the exact same thing with my second story. Oh, why did that happen? Last, I am going to have a conclusion sentence that wraps everything up and ties it together. This could go back to my introduction sentence and say how both authors use details to create a mysterious setting. Okay, so this is how you're doing this. Again, I am not going to give you all the answers. I'm not going to give you the how or why it creates mystery. And I strongly suggest that you take way more time rereading these stories than I just have. I wanted to give you kind of a quick tutorial and overview of what you're doing to help you out, but I do not want to give you all of the answers. This is supposed to be requiring you to think. This is supposed to take a little bit of time and effort on your part. So I know you guys can do it. You guys have been doing great all week. You can definitely handle this. Please let me know via the private comments if you have a question on this, and I will definitely help you out. Enjoy your Friday. Have a lovely weekend, and I will talk to you all back on Monday.